Another WWE superstar's contract is set to expire very soon. We're going to talk about the details in that. Also, Tony Khan just did an interview talking about Ricky Starks, and I'm scratching my head. And we got to talk about some huge Cody Rhodes news. It's all coming up right here on The Ango Show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TAS. Don't forget, we are giving away a World Heavyweight Championship replica belt from WWEshop.com at 100,000 subscribers. I want to kick things off with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, you know, I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. This news is not necessarily shocking to me, but we got to talk about this. So there's been a lot of conversation recently about Cody Rhodes and merchandise sales. And basically, Dave Meltzer had talked about this recently on the Wrestling Observer Radio. He says that Cody Rhodes' popularity and the business numbers suggest that he's the most popular babyface since the Attitude Era when Stone Cold Steve Austin was doing record numbers. He says outside of the ring, Cody Rhodes is everything. Like, he is one of the best babyfaces they've ever had, and he is drawing like it too. The numbers are bigger than John Cena's, and that would make him the biggest babyface since the Austin Rock era. Also, in addition to that, Fightful Select previously reported that an internal memo was sent out in April. The memo stated that Cody sold over $1 million in merchandise during WrestleMania weekend, and that number actually broke his own record from last year. Look, guys, it's no secret. I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I think Cody Rhodes deserves all of the success. He has been absolutely instrumental in WWE's growth. You know, it's tricky, right? Because does WWE do what WWE always does? And do they keep their top babyface as a top babyface? Or do they possibly switch things up at some point and lean into a Cody Rhodes heel turn? I think that's going to require an extended video. So stay tuned to more Ango, which is my second channel, for that. But I do think it's interesting because when you are the top babyface, when you are this caliber of a talent, you're doing the media appearances. He's got the look, he's got the suits, he's got the vernacular. There is so much that he brings to the table inside the ring, but also I would go as far as saying that Cody Rhodes outside of the ring is actually more impactful, and it's led to so many people becoming fans of his. It kind of puts WWE in a tricky spot if they do ever want to turn him heel, but business is business, and you have to look at that from a different lens, right? Right now, he is delivering very big success for the WWE, and it's interesting because I think a lot of people thought maybe after he beats Roman, business would slow down significantly, but it doesn't seem like that is to be the case. Guys, Tony Khan did an interview with CBS Sports, and quite honestly, I am scratching my head here. With Shaq Wrestling, you know, he's been doing a lot of interviews, CBS Sports and just all of these different places, Rich Eisen. But while speaking with Shaq Wrestling, he noted that he would love to have Ricky Starks back. Now, this was obviously in response to Ricky Starks being away from AEW. Tony Khan says, I think Ricky Starks is tremendous. I'd love to get him involved and back in AEW anytime. He's been a huge part of what we've done here for about 4 out of the 5 years, and tons of respect for Rico. Where do I begin? Where do I begin here? Because Tony Khan, you know, I've said a lot of positive things about Tony Khan, but I've also said, you know, criticisms of Tony Khan. Did Tony Khan forget while doing this interview that he writes the show? He books the show. Now, for all we know, for what we know so far, there doesn't appear to be any injury that is keeping Ricky Starks sidelined. And I'm not going to act like I know everything happening in Ricky Starks' life, because that is obviously not true. Maybe he's got some personal dealings, but Ricky Starks has been talking about this stuff publicly, about how he's just not being utilized. And we don't know what it is. The general consensus in the IWC is that Ricky Starks has 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out the door. A lot of people tend to believe that Ricky Starks is going to be headed to WWE, and a lot of people think that this is Tony Khan's way of trying to slow his momentum and slow his growth. And quite frankly, guys, I don't know what to make of this. The whole situation with Ricky Starks is very weird to me, because I followed him before AEW, and then he comes to AEW and he does some really cool stuff initially, but it just seems like they've never really allowed him to break the ceiling. And that's just a weird thing to say, because Ricky Starks is, AEW fans love him. Like, this is a guy that is genuinely loved by their fan base. So I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe it's because Ricky Starks has, went to WWE events to support Cody. I don't know. It just seems weird. I hate even suggesting that, because I just think that's so silly. But you never know. Like, is Tony Khan being petty? Is there a way bigger reason for why Ricky Starks isn't on TV? I mean, for crying out loud, they didn't really have a payoff between him and Big Bill. Big Bill is now part of the learning tree. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's very confusing. And the fact that Tony Khan is talking about how he would love to have him back anytime, dude, you write the show. You book the show. And this is not a Ricky Starks issue. This is an AEW issue. I mean, go back as long as you want in my content. You guys will see I have been talking about this with AEW. When it comes to utilizing stars, it's very pick and choose when and how. And I don't feel like there's ever really a consistency with that. And I hate to say it, but like, why is Tony Khan saying this when he has the opportunity to make that change? I just simply don't get it. You know what else I don't get, guys? Another WWE superstar's contract is set to expire. Now, I'm just going to be honest here. I've said this a lot in recent weeks, because we're finding out about a ton of stars whose contracts are set to expire. Sean Ross Sapp and Corey Brennan of Fightful Select reported today that Angel Garza's contract is set to expire this summer. Basically, the idea is this. Here's what you guys need to know. Angel Garza's contract ends August 1st. It was also noted in the report that Angel Garza and WWE have been negotiating, and there is an offer in place for Angel Garza. But at this time, it doesn't appear that a deal has been agreed to. Doesn't mean it hasn't been agreed to. There's just no confirmation that he has accepted that offer. Obviously, negotiations means back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So just because there's an offer there doesn't mean he will sign it. He might want some more money. He might want some more changes. He might want to be utilized more. I don't know. I can't speak for the guy, but that's what a negotiation is. So as of right now, he has not re-signed. Doesn't mean he won't re-sign. And also, there is a little bit of time left. I do want to give credit to Sean Ross Sapp as well, because on Twitter, he's obviously been getting bombarded about all of this contract news. And one of the things that he talked about was in 2019, WWE had tons and tons of contracts being given out. And obviously with WWE getting the media rights and stuff like that, it's been 5 years. So there are a lot of contracts expiring. Doesn't mean everybody's staying. Doesn't mean everybody's leaving. But what it means is that there are going to be a lot of people who are potentially getting new contracts or potentially not being renewed. It's going to be a busy summer when it comes to free agency. I like Angel Garza. You guys know I've spoken very highly about him and Berto. I want to see them become a big player in the tag team division. So obviously I hope things work out, but if not, he will be just fine outside of the WWE.